Paola finally had the rhinoplasty she dreamed about, but would the result actually bring the confidence she hoped for?
BeautySeek is not a medical provider. This is not medical advice. Always consult a licensed professional.
You just manifested your new nose. I love that. You know, Paula, many of our listeners are beauty seekers like you or me. We're getting procedures and treatments and we're taking care of ourselves. I don't know how often they would actually get an explanation of the day of a rhinoplasty surgery. Can you walk us through, the procedure when you walked in that and then what happened?
I remember a lot since everything happened so fast. I told my mom just one day before the surgery that I was going to have the operation. So when I arrived at the clinic, my mom and my sister were already there. They came in with me. I went to the preparation room. They changed my clothes. The surgeon came with me, showed me the simulation again, and talked to my mom. He explained to us how the process would work and how long it would take. They took me into the operating room, and I remember very clearly that the anesthesiologist was really cheering me on so I would stay calm. And he started counting, and from there, I don't know, I just fell asleep. I woke up and I was alone. I don't remember much. I think I was alone. And then my boyfriend came in a while later, like in the recovery room. I was super dizzy and I actually ended up throwing up because of the anesthesia. My throat hurt a lot. I remember it was because of the tube they put in during surgery. My throat hurt more than my nose. That's what I remember most. That the whole day of the surgery, my throat hurt way more than my nose. And I felt kind of groggy. And then came the whole process, the recovery. But during my surgery, I remember they told me it lasted longer than expected. I don't remember exactly how long it was supposed to take, but the doctor said that when he tried to work on my nose, I bled a lot, which made the surgery more complicated, took a little longer. He had a harder time, but everything turned out fine, thank God. And I think it ended up taking maybe an hour or two longer because of that.
Okay, great. Can you just outline the areas on your nose now that you love the most that weren't there before you got your rhinoplasty?
I think that, like, from the front, this area is thinner, and obviously from the side, well, I don't have the bone here anymore. So these two areas are kind of my favorites.
Awesome. And how's your breathing? Anything happen with your breathing?
I have something called rhinitis, so I suffer from a lot of allergies, and that's just something I'm going to live with for the rest of my life. And it didn't go away, so I still breathe the same as always.
Okay, great. And does your nose feel different now, like firmer here or lighter skin here, or does it feel different to you than it did before?
Gee, you can't move it around like before. And actually, the tip is firm now. It's not like you can just move it. I think the main change is in the tip, which is firm. I can't really move it up or down. It's just stuck like that now.
In the light, when do you take photos and you see really the light plays differently on your nose? How does your nose look different just based on different lights now versus prior to your surgery?
Mm, I remember that before my surgery, I used to look a lot for the right lighting, the right angle, so that my nose wouldn't look too thick or pointing downward. Now, I don't really have that problem. Honestly, I hadn't even thought about it. I don't really change it much because I like my nose from every angle.
Yeah, your nose is beautiful. How would you pose prior to having the surgery for photos? Did you have a certain way you posed and now you just posed anyway?
Before, I would never in my life take a profile picture. I always tried to hide my profile. Now I even pose like this. I just don't have that problem anymore. I turn like this or do this. I don't hide it at all anymore.
Okay. And so, Paula, what do you think changed more, your nose or your internal dialogue?
I think it goes hand in hand. It really does. Because, yes, Of course, there was a change in my nose, but there was also a change in my confidence when taking pictures. I don't feel insecure anymore. For example, right now I have a 9-month-old baby, and I have thought about how before our photos would have been complicated because we have pictures where I'm kissing her on the cheek or where I'm looking at her like this, and I see my nose, and I think, wow, I wonder how my insecurity would be now with my baby if I still had my old nose, which thank God I don't anymore. But I really think both things go hand in hand.
Yes, and humans feel the energy of the people who are around them. And if that emotional consideration was always with you, that could transfer. So it seems as though you're in a very healthy place. You've made a very healthy decision for the right reasons. And now you're able to kind of instill or just kind of exude that confidence. I feel it. And we love that your baby can feel that as well. That's amazing. What do you feel that beauty seekers who are watching this channel, beauty seekers like you, like me, what do you think they should try to understand if it was a single thing before electing rhinoplasty? What do you think that most important thing or things should be?
This transformation is not only happening right here, but also here, deep inside your own head, within your thoughts, and most significantly, in your self esteem.
I love that. Let's say you got to the consult, you knew what you wanted, you were vibing. What, if anything, would have made you reconsider or walk out of that consult?
Not having connected with my surgeon, I think that's something really important. Not having felt that kind of match with him that would have made me doubt even a little bit, I wouldn't have gone back to him.
Hugely important. You would walk out of a consult if the vibe just didn't exist. I mean, that is key. That has to be essential. And all of the education and knowledge is on top of that. That makes so much sense. I love the fact that you are able to be just public and present about this story of this life-changing event that you've gone through. The beauty seeker community is very grateful. I'm so thankful for you. Um, One final question. After all of this, how has your relationship with your nose evolved or changed?
Well, it changed completely for the better. I enjoy putting makeup on it. I enjoy looking at it. I enjoy seeing myself. So it really changed completely for the better. It's no longer an insecurity. Well, everything changed. Everything changed in that way, in me and who I am, and of course, in my nose. I look in the mirror and say, I made the right decision.
I think you made the right choice as well. I can just feel it in, the level of confidence, the way you speak, considering how people around you, like especially your baby, is going to perceive you emotionally. You seem to have gone through like the right process. It was made rather quickly, the decision from therapy to actual procedure, and that seemed to work just fine for you. You seem to have the right emotional approach to the entire process. And I'm very happy for you. And thank you so much for sharing your experience with these beauty seekers that we're all part of this community. For those of the community who want to learn more about rhinoplasty, watch our next video with Dr. Vranis, who's actually going to give you the techniques, some of the techniques of how he does rhinoplasty. Thank you. Thank you, Paula.
No, thank you all so much. Honestly, it's been many years since my surgery, and I hadn't thought about how much my life has changed up to this point. And I hadn't thought about how much I can share with other people who want to go through this surgery. So, thank you so much for that.
Her nose changed, but what really changed might have been much deeper.